to come to the summit and present to prime ministers about the potential of 21st century government, I got really excited. But she didn't tell me I'd have the enormous responsibility of speaking between two prime ministers. I may not have been so excited. We know how more important it is as a region to compete globally. So, do you know what the first thing that came to my mind was? Bubblegum. Most people kinda like bubblegum, but not me. I love it. Let me explain. I didn't grow up in a traditional nuclear family. I grew up with my grandmother. When I was only about 6 months old, my parents were doing renovations at home, and the roof caved in. It almost crushed me. My grandmother was pissed, and she demanded that I stay with her. So my parents really had no choice but to oblige. As Granny and I bonded, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. I was her favorite, and I enjoyed all the spoils. Every Saturday, my granny would go to the grocery. She knew how much I loved bubble gum, and she would always be sure to bring me back some. This one particular Saturday morning, I was watching my favorite cartoon. Granny was heading off to the grocery, and as usual, she asked if I wanted anything. You could probably guess what I told her. That's right, bubble gum. Unfortunately, I didn't pay that much attention to her that morning. I didn't give her the warm send-off that I should have. But this was the last time I ever saw her. A couple hours later, my aunt returned without my granny, but she had bubblegum in her hand. My granny had left me one last thing to remember her by. That day, I learned how fragile life is, but I also learned how important it was to leave a legacy. Her legacy to me was bubblegum, and every time I think about it, every time I see it, I think about her. My grandmother was an incredible woman. She had 9 kids and lots of grandkids. Something I aspire to, but please don't tell my wife. In the months that followed, we spoke a lot about her, and I came to realize that all of my other cousins were also her favorite. And she knew what their bubblegum was. You see, all grandparents look after our welfare in an amazingly personal way. They treat everyone as if they were their favorite and make you the center of their universe. They make our lives simple, comfortable, frictionless, and they do it so effortlessly, it almost seems invisible. They always know where you are in your journey and can anticipate your next step. Isn't this the purpose of 21st century government? Isn't this the promise of 21st century government? Isn't this the potential of 21st century government? Today, technology allows governments to have that grandparent-grandchild relationship, but at scale. A single identity for each citizen integrated ministries, and a one-touch approach will provide seamless services across all agencies. When we apply analytics, the next best step for each citizen can be automatically predicted. Stakeholders will become deeply engaged, and service performance improves. Can you imagine an efficient and highly performant government service? One that seeks to reduce cost, improve the quality of service, and build public trust? You see, 21st century government isn't about technology. It isn't about digital identity. It isn't about data. It's about remembering the pillars that good government were built on. Most people wish they had a crystal ball. They wish they could see into the future. But you know what? We don't need it. 21st century government is here. We live in an age of artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, and machine learning, where we've already built the tools, and the tools are now building us. And for the first time, we have the ability to overcome our human limitations. It can't be about improving the way we do things now. We need to jump curves while staying true to our purpose. This massive change requires leaders, dreamers, and visionaries. Fortunately, creativity and resourcefulness comes naturally to Caribbean people. We strive in adversity, so leadership is not new to us. We've already produced some of the greatest leaders, people that have shaped the world, people that have redefined the arts, sport, business, beauty. This is a room of trailblazers, a room of leaders, all with the ability to effect change. My grandmother's legacy will probably die with me. But the greatest legacies have the ability to transcend time. We now have an opportunity just to do that. So the next time you see bubblegum, I want you to think about your legacy. The legacy you're leaving for your kids, your grandkids, and your nation. Will your legacy die with them? Or will you forge a legacy that would last for the next 100 years? Thank you.